Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Kekada Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Vanakkam Prabhu.
Aisha Mataji.
Is my voice clear, Prabhu?
Yes, clear, Prabhu. Very clear, Prabhu.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Hari Bol. Om Agyanan Dimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitamyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Swami Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Narasimha Maharaj iti namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vashri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So இன்னைக்கு நம்ம ஒரு சத்சங்கம் இங்க கூடி இருக்கோம்னா நாளைக்கு நம்மளோட மகாராஜ் ஃபுல்னஸ் ஷிலா பக்தி விக்ன விநாச நரசிம்ம மகாராஜோட வியாச பூஜா. ஸோ நரசிம்ம மகாராஜோட வியாச பூஜாக்கு பிகாஸ் டுமாரோ we are having a program in our ISKCON Skudai. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ஜூம் குளோரிஃபிகேஷன் செஷன் நம்ம வச்சிருக்கோம். ஸோ நம்மளோட கெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆனரா மகாராஜ் பற்றி குளோரிஃபை பண்ணி பேசுறதுக்கு மகாராஜோட சீனியர் டிசைபிள் நம்ம கூட இருக்காங்க இப்போ. So Prabhu பிரபுவோட பேர் His Grace Tribhunath Das. So அவர் முதல்ல மகாராஜ் 1995ல பார்த்தாரு. So after 5 years after that, Prabhu took shelter in the old BM Center in the year 2001. அப்புறம் 2005ல Prabhu அதே BM Center, old BM Centerல ஹரிநாம் தீக்ஷா எடுத்தாரு. So after that, Prabhu actually in the year 2010 Brahmin தீக்ஷா SJMKல எடுத்தாரு. அப்போ பிரபு நம்ம பிசிசி சிப்ராங்ஜயா கீழே தான் சேவை பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரு. பிரபு பத்தி சொல்லணும்னா that time actually Maharaj himself approached Prabhu to ask that, get prepared, I'm going to give you a Brahmin Diksha, because Prabhu was a very strong preacher. Prabhu was doing university preaching as well as Prabhu in the national service லாம் பிரபு போயிட்டு நம்மளோட ஹிந்து தர்மத்தை பத்தி சொல்லுவாரு, போயிட்டு பிரச்சாரம் பண்ணுவாரு. I'm one of Prabhu's student also last time when I was in national service. So I think the touch from that, Prabhu, thanks to you, I think I accepted and become a devotee today. So all glories to you, Prabhu, because of that. So Prabhu, the current service பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவர் நம்மளோட தொடு டெம்பிள் இருக்கார்ல, ஸ்ரீ ராதா கிருஷ்ண கண்ணைய டெம்பிள், அதுல பிரபு வீக்லி பிரபு ஆக்சுவலி பூஜாரியா இருக்காருங்க. ஸோ வீக்லி சாட்டர்டே சண்டே மார்னிங் பிரபுவோட சேவை என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, நம்ம ராதா கிருஷ்ணாவும் அப்படியே மேஜிஸ்டிக்கா அழகா நிக்கிறாங்க பாருங்க. அதுக்கு நம்ம ராதாராணி எவ்வளவு அழகா உடுத்தி இருக்காங்க. அதுக்கு முக்கிய காரணமே வீக்கெண்ட் அப்போ பிரபுவோட சேவை தான். அவரோட திருக்கரங்களால ராதாமாவும் இப்போ வீக்கெண்ட் நினைக்கிற சண்டே ஆல்சோ கிருஷ்ணா ஆல்சோ பிரபு இது கிருஷ்ணா ஆல்சோ அவர் டெக்கரேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. ஸோ இந்த சேவை அவர் தொடர்ந்து பண்ணணும். இந்த பூஜாரி சேவை, இந்த பகவான் அலங்கரிக்கிற சேவை அவர் தொடர்ந்து பண்ணணும். இன்னும் அழகா, இன்னும் நல்லபடியா இன்னும் பண்ணோம். நம்ம கண்ணுக்கு இன்னும் அழகான ராதா கிருஷ்ண கண்ணைய தரிசனம் காமிக்கணும்னு எல்லா இறைவனை வேண்டிக்கிறேன். ஸோ இப்போ பிரபு சந்தோஷமா நம்மளோட மகாராஜ் பத்தி குளோரிஃபை பண்ணுவாரு. ஸோ பிரபு இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசுவாரு. சப்போஸ் ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின் தமிழ்ல இருந்துச்சுன்னா you all can ask in devotees can ask in Tamil also. Prabhu will actually explain in Tamil, and towards the end கொஞ்சம் question answer sessionலாம் இருக்கும். Okay, so Prabhu, please, the Zoom floor is yours. Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. We, as normal, our Bhagavad Gita class, right? We normally used to start with short bhajan, and we continue with our sharings. Okay, Hare Krishna. Namo Padaya Krishna Kristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Swamin iti namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Kristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasatya Desatarini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasatya Desatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Radha Krishna Kanaya Radha Krishna Kanaya Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Kanaya Radha Krishna Kanaya Radhe Jaya Nitai Gaurangarai Nitai Gaurangarai Nitai Gaurangarai Nitai Gaurangarai Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimade Swamin Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Narasimha Maharaj iti namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschachya Desatarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Even though I'm unqualified to speak glories of my spiritual master, but with mercy of Guru Krishna, in desire of fulfilling devotees' humble requests here, I would like to speak some pastimes of my spiritual master and some personal experiences associating with Gurudev in conjunction with the most auspicious upcoming 73rd Vyasa Puja of my beloved spiritual master. That will be tomorrow. I would like to start my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. As we know, according to the scriptural evidences, a true spiritual master are considered as Patita Pavan, with determination to deliver the fallen souls. Gurudev is one of the initiating spiritual master of ISKCON established by its founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, who is coming in line with Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sambardaya with teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva, means oneness and at the same time not one. Plural is a vast topic we may discuss some other time. That could be understood through Pancharatra Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi in order to attain perfection in life. Some introduction about Guru Maharaj involvement in preaching initiatives and His Holiness nature with Krishna consciousness. Guru Deva is teaching Krishna consciousness through Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and other relevant scriptures, different books introduced by ISKCON founder Acharya's Divine Grace, Srila Gurudev, is Gurudev, spiritual master, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. As we are aware, Srila Prabhupada has instructed His Holiness to preach in Chinese-speaking countries. Guru Maharaj has taken his spiritual master's instruction into his heart and soul, learned Mandarin in early stage, started preaching Krishna consciousness in Chinese-speaking countries with His Holiness Sannyasa Guru Tamala Krishna Goswami, like in China mainland, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. Later, Guru Maharaj expanded his preaching mission even to Russia, Middle East countries, Cambodia, Vietnam, etc. His Holiness preaching mission, especially in communist countries like China mainland, Russia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and now Middle East countries are considered to be in very high risk grounds where not allowed to enter or exit borders with saffron cloth. Therefore, His Holiness sometimes forced to change into plain clothes to enter those countries to continue Srila Prabhupada preaching mission. As of our knowledge, there is no provision in communist ruling countries to speak about God consciousness, will be caught and to be punished severely under state law. Despite that, His Holiness involves preaching in high-risk missionary work in those areas as a real warrior in the mission of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. I would like to share an incident happened few years back while Gurudeva actively preaching, which are narrated by Trivikrama Prabhu, who's in SGMKL, who sometimes involves with Guru Maharaj in the mission of preaching in China mainland. Guru Maharaj has been caught by police officers while performing underground preaching. His Holiness was taken and placed in police custody for further inquiry as a foreigner involved in illegal Krishna consciousness preaching activities against state law considered to be criminal activity. After some moments, by Guru Krishna Mercy, His Holiness was started preaching God consciousness and yoga to the police officers in the police lockup. The police officers were enthusiastically hearing Guru Maharaj's teachings of some time, and police officers decided and released for his honesty and compassion. Actually, I was born in the darkness. My spiritual master opened my darkened eyes to see the true purpose of this human form of life through the teachings of Sadhu Sastra Guru. Guru Deva always emphasizes reading through Founderacharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada books. I am considered to be fortunate as Guru Deva has awakened with while living in the most ignorant condition. Guru Deva always to be an exemplary for the foolish ignorant like me to follow, set examples and progress in Krishna consciousness. In many instances, I really treasured the way Guru Maharaj approached in guiding me. As an example, in my very beginning stage in Krishna consciousness, I used to keep my distance from Guru Maharaj because the strictness he shows sometimes. I was not even initiated at that time. I used to come to Mangalarati in BM Old Center before going to work with a very light tilaka on my forehead. After Guru Deva observed it, a few days later, Guru Deva narrated a story in his class about how a working only devotee has been allowed to wear tilaka in his workplace. The story goes like this. There was a group of people working together in a particular company in a mixture of some devotees and non-devotees. Some non-devotees complained to the management with enviousness of wearing tilak. One fine day, the company management informed the devotees not to come to work with tilak from the next day onwards. Otherwise, they will be expelled from work. The very next day, all turn up to work without tilak. All turn out to work without wearing tilak on their forehead, except one devotee appeared with full conviction of the Lord. Then the management allowed only him to wear tilaka that day onwards. Since then, I was convinced to wear clear tilaka to work with Sikha as well. I am always eager and privileged in arranging Guru Deva's loving service whenever visits Malaysia northern region. Guru Deva's ulterior concern about well-being of devotees regardless of their spiritual master, which is evident in the Shastra that Guru is one, which is confirmed by our founder Acharya. It's not that easy to remember all the devotees' natures, devotees' names, and used to inquire privately about their absence upon His Holiness visits. I used to wonder that Guru Deva remembers each of their names of god nephews and nieces as well. Although traveling various parts of the world, meeting numerous people and devotees. Still fresh in my mind, memory that is in 2008, when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj fell sick. We disciples ignorantly proposed celebrating Gurudev Vyasa Puja. Straight away, Guru Maharaj disagreed with the celebration because of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami health condition. Nevertheless, after several attempts by numerous disciples, Guru Maharaj agreed with strict condition that only to assemble in one of the devotees' house to celebrate in a simpler manner and sure not in any of our temples. We abide by Guru Deva's instruction. And another thing is, Guru Maharaj requested to keep a photo of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and pray for His Holiness speedy recovery and well-being. Ever since then, I have kept His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj picture in my home altar next to my Guru Maharaj picture. I truly admire Gurudev's serious nature, even at times used to chastise me as well, some of his disciples and devotees who are not serious in Krishna consciousness, playful, and misusing Krishna's properties as well as Krishna's funds, but very compassionate in guiding simple and sincere devotees with love and care to advance in Krishna consciousness. I have been following Guru Maharaj classes and they are real nectarian, compact with philosophies, profound knowledge are sublime, deeply treasured to abide by them. We are chanting Yasha Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada. It means by satisfying the spiritual master, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality Godhead. So the songs we narrate, right, every day, sometimes we doesn't really understand the meaning of the language, but those songs are very nectarian, which are introduced by our founder Acharya is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. As I said, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, it means by satisfying the spiritual master, one can satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that song is with full meanings, glorification of a spiritual master. And move on further. In my early 1990s, I have started serving ISKCON Bukit Matajam Bhakti Mandir at the old center at Jalan Sungai Rambai. Sometime later, approached Gurudev for an initiation. The first question Gurudev asked me was, why do you want to take initiation from me? There are so many gurus in ISKCON. You may approach any one of them. I was really disappointed and stunned because the very first time I saw Gurudev in my brother's house program, I was decided to take initiation from His Holiness. After then, some devotees as well discouraged that it's not easy to get initiation from Maharaj. That time, as I know, in Penang, in northern region, Guru Maharaj was having only one disciple. He is my senior god brother. His name is Dwaragadish Das. Then my approach continually started with Guru Maharaj for initiation. And Guru Maharaj was keep declining after his few visits. Ever since then, I was closely followed with Guru Maharaj with full conviction as a spiritual master. After waiting for about 7 years, in year 2000, finally Guru Maharaj has decided to give shelter. After 7 years, he decided to give shelter. And after the shelter, I continued my service in the BM Center and used to serve each of Guru Maharaj visit to northern region. After 5 years, Guru Maharaj gave Harinam initiation on 1st April 2005 in Bukit Majan Center as well, and served and continued to serve there for a few years. Then later, the old BM Center decided to move to Alma with the effect of road expansion. I made a decision and moved to serve in BCC Seberang Jaya, which is closer to my home. At that moment, I was actively involved in Malaysian Hindu Sangam Penang State as a General Secretary, as well as Vice President in Inter-Religious Council with endorsement from Gurudev. One fine day, I was transporting Gurudev to Sungai Sipu Temple program. Normally, Guru Maharaj don't ask the question straight on your face. He will go around and ask about our activities and our services and etc. Guru Maharaj casually inquired about my temple activities as well in Hindu Sangam. I elaborated to Guru Maharaj that I used to attend programs, our programs without miss any of our programs in northern region. As well, I used to participate in Malaysian Hindu Sangam programs as well, inter-religious council programs. And normally, they ask me to represent for any big programs, spiritual talks to the public, and so on. In that way, I have attended, I have contributed through teaching with Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. in a larger crowd, even in USM, UITM, and some other big programs arranged by state government and etc. I used to recite Bhagavad Gita and speak on Srimad Bhagavatam to the public crowd. Not only the Hindu crowd, even sometimes the Malays and Chinese, even with the minister's presence. That way, Guru Maharaj understand my situation, and while traveling to Sungai Siput, Guru Maharaj asked me, "Are you ready for Brahmin initiation?" I got shocked. That time, I'm not really ready to take Brahmin initiation. To me, Brahmin initiation means it's a very big thing, which according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we need to abide by Pancharatra Vidhi. Pancharatra Vidhi means it's a strict rules and regulation to be abide by the Brahmanas. That's one of the qualification is cleanliness, internally and externally, truthfulness, careful with words, and our exemplary natures to attract and preach to the fallen souls. Then I was very reluctant to take Brahmin initiation. I didn't promise Guru Maharaj anything. I was just kept quiet after that. After the program, I came back to BCC that time. That time Todu was under construction. I used to be very close to Santivartana Chaitanya Das. I think everybody knows Santivartana, right? So he was my closest friend. I used to discuss everything about Krishna consciousness as well, my family matters. After I returned from Sungai Siput, I was talking to him that Guru Maharaj asked me to take Brahmin initiation. I told him that I'm not ready. Santivardhana Prabhu told me, Prabhu, Guru itself want to give Brahmin initiation, why you don't want to take? Then I told him I'm not ready. Then he straight away print the Brahmin initiation form and hand it over to me. I look at the form, the questions to write essay about for the Brahmin initiation qualification. I look at the questions and quietly I put those papers at the side. He looked at me and laughed. He told me, I told him I'm a hectic working person. I don't have time to prepare all this in a short period of time. That's Guru Maharaj given 1 week. Then Santivardhana Prabhu told me, Prabhu, why don't you take emergency leave for 3 days and complete this? Then I decided, okay, it's okay. Then I started to do the exam and passed to him. And I said for Brahmin initiation Yagya in SGM KL on 28 June 2015. Practically, Guru Maharaj understands our nature and our position of to be initiated and Brahmin initiated. In our understanding, there is only 2 reasons that we supposed to be inclined in Brahmin initiation. One is for, as I earlier mentioned, that one is for Pancharatra Vidhi and another one is Bhagavad Vidhi. Pancharatra Vidhi is we promise upon Guru and the Yagya fire sacrifice that we need to promise that we need to perform loving devotional service to the Lord with strict rules and regulations, abiding strict rules and regulations. Then gradually a Brahmin initiate devotee need to read the revealed sastras to understand and impart the knowledge to those needed it. That way, I was inclined and got involved in deity worship in the temple. There was the coincidence, was right time. In God, in Krishna consciousness, there is no coincidence actually. All are incidents, right? So that way, I started to get involved in deity worship in the temple, Sri Radha Krishna Kanaya temple in Sabranjaya. As well, I got involved in preaching activities as well. My most loving services rendering for Guru Deva is prepare accommodations whenever Guru Maharaj visits northern region, provide transportation for various programs. Sometimes I used to travel Ipoh and Sungai Siput, Teluk Intan, and sometimes to KL as well. And I used to prepare prasadam, coordinating with the devotees in the northern region. As we are aware also that Guru Maharaj austerity practicing in taking prasadam with non-grain prasadam only. So sometimes we find difficult to prepare the non-grain prasadam because we are so used to the grain prasadams, you know. Then Guru Maharaj taking every day Ekadasi prasadam. Then I used to arrange some devotees to prepare Ekadasi prasadam for Guru Maharaj for all the meals like breakfast. We used to put schedule for preparations, you know, for breakfast, lunch, and also dinner. But normally Guru Maharaj doesn't take dinner, heavy dinner. He takes some fruits in the evening and only drink milk. And that milk also now is stopped. And he only take one full meal in the afternoon. And the most funniest thing is Guru Maharaj I used to cook sometime for Guru Maharaj when there is no one available to prepare his prasadam. The funniest thing is Guru Maharaj used to bear my cookings and appreciate it as nice prasadam when there was no one available for that service particular time. I used to laugh to myself. The only person can appreciate my prepared prasadam is my Guru Maharaj. Towards the end, I would like to present some sharings of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada spoken on Guru Tattva, that Guru as one. Satya Yuga means this one narrated by Srila Prabhupada. I would like to share here. Satya Yuga means the age of truthfulness. Satyam means truthfulness. And Kali Yuga means the age of disagreements. The age of disagreement. So at the present moment, we are in Kali Yuga. Everyone disagrees with each other. Even the so-called disciples also disagree with the spiritual master. This is the influence of Kali Yuga. One becomes a disciple of the spiritual master, then he whimsically disagrees. So why, if you disagree, why should you accept somebody as a spiritual master? That is not very good. That is the way of not being successful. We are chanting every day that Yasha Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada. By satisfying the spiritual master, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality Godhead. Yasha Prasadat, by the satisfaction of the spiritual master. Samsara Davanala, Samsara Dava Nalali Nida Loka, Tranaya Karunya Kanada Natvam. One of the symptom is this, that spiritual master is so bona fide. Before accepting somebody as spiritual master, you must know about his bona fides. That time is allowed. It is said in the Shastra that if you like to accept somebody as a spiritual master, you should associate with him at least for 1 year. See how things are going on. If you follow, of course, others, that is also good. But personally, it is advised that you just remain with the proposed spiritual master for at least 1 year, so that the spiritual master is also given a chance to study you, whether you are acceptable. That is the process. When one leaves a spiritual master, the spiritual master, there may be some reason. That reason also given in the Shastra. Guru Rapi Avaliptasya Karya Karyam Ajanataha, Mahabharata Santi 57.7. This has given evidences by His Divine Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Karya Karyam. If the spiritual master does not know what is actually to be done, and he acts against the rules and regulation of the Shastra, then such a spiritual master may be given up. But so, do not find that the spiritual master is doing against the principle of Shastra and Acharya Guru. Then if you give up the company of a spiritual master, that is not good for you. That is your downfall. First of all, you must take sufficient time to study the movement of a spiritual master. Spiritual master is one. The spiritual master, because there may be many spiritual masters, but if their business is one, to satisfy Krishna, although they are many, they are one. Although they are many, they are still one. The principle is one, to satisfy Krishna. Such is the position of spiritual master. That is Yasha Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada. If you try to please your spiritual master, then God, Krishna, become pleased. That is natural. Evidence given by Srila Prabhupada from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.16.36 on January 30, 1974. Therefore, we devotees are supposed to take prominence of Sadhu Shastra Guru in order to understand the teaching of Krishna, to properly situate in Krishna consciousness. Recall while going through some of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada classes, that there are two examples I would like to share here. One is, one fine day, SP was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class in Ontario. His Divine Grace was elaborating how one could be humble and meek. Then SP started observed. After then, SP started to observe for a few days that a colored boy, he has mentioned, a colored boy, has changed his nature. Normally he used to be active and very joyful and playful, normally the young guys, that's nature. And after the class, Prabhupada spoken about to be humble and meek. He started to be, artificially being very humble and, he totally changed with his nature. And Srila Prabhupada was observing this for a few days. And Prabhupada couldn't stand the way he behaving. After happened to you, then he replied, we devotees need to be humble and meek. Then SP started to chastise him. You need to take prominence of Shastra, and you must understand what is the real meaning of being humble and meek. The real meaning for humble and meek is to understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. Therefore, devotees should take Spiritual Master's advice to the heart and soul. And the most important thing is need to take prominence of Sadhu Shastra Guru. And this Sadhu Shastra Guru is widely used by the stalwart devotees. Sadhu means we always get association with various devotees, and sometimes they come and give classes, sometimes with personal interactions about Krishna consciousness. And at times we get confused whether this devotee speak the right thing, that devotee speak the right thing, or the various devotees are they speaking the right things. That is position of sadhu, right? They will speak in many different ways of explaining the tattvas and Krishna consciousness. So that way, Prabhupada says, we get association from various sadhus and Shastra. We can listen from many sadhus, and Srila Prabhupada says, emphasizes this, you need to take reference of Shastra. You can listen from many sadhus. In case of your doubt, you need to take reference of Shastra, right? So take a reference of Shastra. Also Prabhupada says, even my class, you sit down and listen to my class, you don't simply listening to my classes. After listening to my class, you go back and refer to Shastra, whether I'm speaking the right thing or not, right? So this is the position of Srila Prabhupada. We don't blindly follow what others are speaking. We need to take prominence of Shastra. If at all we still have doubt on Shastra, we can't understand. We don't supposed to have doubt on Shastra, but at times we do. So in that case, Prabhupada is advising, that's why we are having a spiritual master. If you are not unclear with sadhus and Shastra evidences, the final reference, we supposed to go back to our spiritual master to take the guidance. So let's say in a point, you're not convinced by a sadhu reference, right? Then you take reference of Shastra. You're still not convinced that, then you go to a guru. The guru gives you, okay, my dear boy, this is the answer. Once you've taken a guidance of a spiritual master, you cannot reverse back to sadhu and Shastra. So that will be a real offense. So that's why the Sastras gave a clear guideline. We supposed to take Sadhu, Sastra, Guru. So this is the order we supposed to take, that we go with many sadhus, and in case of doubt, we refer to Sastra. After we referring to Sastra, still doubt, we go to final reference to our spiritual master to confirm. So ultimately, we are in Krishna consciousness, supposed to be meek and humble, but not in blind state. We need to really, with the prominence of Sadhu, Sastra, Guru evidences. And another instances is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada has emphasized. Prior to choosing a spiritual master, one should understand the nature of a spiritual master as well, for the Guru to understand the disciple. This prohibition has recommended 1 year for the disciple and Guru to understand each other well. This philosophy is clearly evident in the Nectar of Instruction given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Therefore, in contact with anyone seeking for help for initiation, our first advice to them is to study through Nectar of Instruction. So this Nectar of Instruction, I have gone through few times before I taken initiation in 2000, Harinam initiation in 2005. So I was properly guided in this matter, I will say. This Nectar of Instruction has clear definition. What is the nature of a Guru? What could be the nature of a disciple? What are the things we need to abide and what are not? As given clear instruction in the Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa, one of the 6 Vrindavan Goswamis, right? It's Srila Rupa Goswami. So this is what I used to do. If anyone come in contact with me, they want to take initiation, the first thing I used to advise them, please go back and read Nectar of Instruction. You will know who is Guru, what is Guru, why you are taking a Guru, spiritual master. At the same time, you will understand your own position before taking a spiritual master into your life. So I'm ending here my class. Hare Krishna. Welcoming your comments of my bed, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Haribol.
Any comments? Any questions?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It was amazing class. It was an amazing and wonderful class. Thank you so much of glorification of Maharaj. So tomorrow can't wait to attend the Vyasa Puja at Todu, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So Subhananda Prabhu, ஏதாவது சொல்றீங்களா Prabhu?
Krishna Prabhu, நான் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்கணும் Prabhu. ரெண்டு கேள்வி.
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Prabhu, ஏன் மகாராஜ் வந்து எப்போதுமே வந்து always prepare taking ஏகாதசி பிரசாதம்?
That could be 2 reasons, Prabhu. 2 காரணங்கள் இருக்கு Prabhu. ஒரு காரணம் வந்து பல ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பு, few years back, குரு மகாராஜ் வந்து கொஞ்சம் டைஜஷன் ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தது. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து நிறைய கிரெயின் சாப்பிட்டா நார்மலி டைஜஷன் டைம்ல ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தா அது சாப்பாடு வந்து ஒழுங்கா டைஜஸ்ட் பண்ணாது. ஸோ நம்ம ஏகாதசி இருக்கிற அன்னைக்கு நமக்கு வந்து இந்த பிரச்சனை வராது, பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? ஸோ அதனால குரு மகாராஜ் வந்து அந்த டைம்ல தவிர்க்கிறதுக்கு அவர் வந்து இந்த தானிய வகைகளை வந்து எடுக்கிறத நிறுத்திட்டு இந்த மாதிரி ஏகாதசி தானியமற்ற சாப்பாடுங்களை வந்து உட்கொள்ள ஆரம்பிச்சாரு. Then later he adapted that nature. It became his nature of taking non-grain food. That also Guru Maharajoda austerity practicing, Prabhu. Am I answered your question, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, another one more question, Prabhu.
கேளுங்க Prabhu.
Prabhu, இப்போ வந்து மகாராஜ் வந்து சைனால வந்து ப்ரீச்சிங் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட். அது எப்படி Prabhu மகாராஜ் செய்யறாரு?
எங்க Prabhu? சைனால.
சைனா.
சைனால வந்து Prabhu இப்ப வந்து இவன் ரொம்ப அந்த கம்யூனிஸ்ட் ஆட்சியினால இந்த மாதிரி கம்யூனிஸ்ட் கண்ட்ரிங்கள்ல போயிட்டு நாடுகள்ல போயிட்டு சமயத்தை பரப்ப முடியாது என்றது வந்து அவங்களோட சட்ட விதி பாருங்களேன். அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது இது வந்து இந்த ப்ரீச்சிங் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் வந்து பிரபுபாத காலத்திலேயே இந்த மாதிரி கம்யூனிஸ்ட் ஆட்சி செய்யற நாடுகள்ல வந்து அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் ப்ரீச்சிங்கை வந்து ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. குறிப்பாக ரஷ்யா, சைனால வந்து அப்ப வந்து தமிழ கிருஷ்ண கோஸ்வாமி அவரை தெரியும் நினைக்கிறேன் எல்லாருக்கும். அவர் வந்து பிரபுபாதோட நெருங்கிய செயலாளரா பணிபுரிஞ்சார் அப்ப பிரபுபாதாக்கு. அப்ப அவரு தான் வந்து சைனால வந்து முதல்ல போயிட்டு பிரச்சாரத்தை துவங்கினாரு. சைனாக்கு போறதுக்கு வந்து நம்ம குருமார்கள் அணிந்திருக்கிற ஆடை மாதிரி ஷெஃப்ரோனை போட்டுக்கிட்டு போக முடியாது அந்த நாடுங்களுக்கு. ஸோ என்ன செய்வாங்க, இவன் என்னோட குரு மகாராஜ் கூட பிரபு 2-3 இந்த சாதாரண உடைகளை வந்து அவர் பேக்ல எப்போதுமே வச்சிருப்பாரு. ஈவன் சிங்கப்பூருக்கு போகும்போது கூட அவர் போயிட்டு வாஷ்ரூம்ல போயிட்டு அவர் வந்து இந்த ஷெஃப்ரான் உடைய கழட்டிட்டு அவரு சாதாரண இந்த மாதிரி பிளேன் குளோத்துங்களை தான் போட்டுக்கிட்டு இந்த நாடுகளுக்கெல்லாம் உள்ள போகணும். உள்ள போயிட்ட பிறகு அவங்க வந்து அவங்களோட கான்டாக்டை வச்சு அங்கங்க அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் ப்ரீச்சிங்ல ஏற்பாடுகளை வந்து அங்க உள்ளவங்க வந்து ஏற்பாடு செய்வாங்க. லைக் சிங்கப்பூர், சைனா. ஈவன் மகாராஜ் யூஸ் டு கோ டு சம்டைம் டு கம்போடியா, வியட்நாம், ரஷ்யா. ஈவன் மகாராஜோட ப்ரீச்சிங் வந்து இப்போ வந்து மிடில் ஈஸ்ட் கண்ட்ரி எல்லாம் போய் பிரச்சாரம் செய்யறாரு பாருங்களேன். இந்த மாதிரி நாடுகளுக்கெல்லாம் போகும்போது பெரும்பாலும் அவங்க வந்து ஷெஃப்ரான் குளோத்துல போறது இல்லை. அவங்க வந்து பிளேன் குளோத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு அந்த குளோத்துல என்டர் பண்ணிட்டு அங்க போயிட்டு மறைமுகமா பிரச்சாரங்களை வந்து மேற்கொள்றாங்க. அதே போலதான் திரும்பி நாட்டுல இருந்து வெளியாகும் போதும் அவங்க வந்து இந்த ஷெஃப்ரான் குளத்தை மாத்திக்கிட்டு பிளேன் குளத்துல தான் வெளியே வராங்க. குரு மகாராஜ் நான் ஒரு முறை பார்த்தேன் சிங்கப்பூர்ல என்டர் பண்ணும்போது. அவரோட அந்த மாங்கோட ஐடென்டிட்டியை மறைக்கிறதுக்கு ஈவன் அவர் கேப் போட்டுக்கிட்டு போவாரு. ஸோ தட் ஆர் த sacrifice they're making la Prabhu for the Krishna consciousness movement. They are real warrior of Srila Prabhupada. They're taking all kind of risk. They used to get caught by police and put in the police custody and tortured sometime, you know. அதெல்லாம் பே பண்ணிக்கிட்டு அவங்க வந்து இந்த மாதிரி பிரச்சாரத்தில் ஈடுபட்டிருக்காங்கன்னு சொன்னா அவங்க எல்லாம் இந்த பிரச்சாரத்தை மேற்கொள்றதுக்கு வந்து பகவானால மேற்கொள்ள அனுப்பப்பட்ட ஆளுங்க தான் சொல்ல முடியும் நம்ம.
தேங்க்யூ பிரபு, தேங்க்யூ பிரபு. இன்னொரு கேள்வி பிரபு, மகாராஜ் வந்து எப்போதுமே வந்து நம்மளே வந்து எங்க பிரபு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி அவர் எங்க பிரபு இருப்பாரு எப்போதும்? இப்போதைக்கு மகாராஜ் வந்து மாயாப்பூர்ல தான் ஸ்டே பண்ணி அங்கதான் பிரச்சாரம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு.
ஆமா பிரபு, அவர் வந்து மாயாப்பூரோட பேஸ் வந்து பிரபு மகாராஜோட பேஸ் வந்து தாய்லாந்து, பெங்காக்ல வந்து 2 சென்டர்ஸ் இருக்கு பிரபு. ஒன்னு வந்து யூனிவர்சிட்டி கிட்ட, ஒன்னு வந்து சிட்டி சென்டர்ல வந்து 2 சென்டருங்க இருக்கு. அந்த அங்கதான் அவரோட பெர்மனன்ட் பேஸ். ஆனா வந்து குரு மகாராஜ் வந்து ஒரே இடத்துல இருக்க மாட்டாரு. அவர் வந்து வேத சாஸ்திர ஃபாலோ பண்ணி அதன் பிறகு நடக்கிறவர் பாருங்களேன். அப்ப வந்து ஒரு இடத்துல இவன் இங்க தொடுவுக்கு வந்தா கூட அவரு வந்து பிரச்சார நடவடிக்கைகள் இல்லாம ஒரு இடத்துல 3 நாளுக்கு மேல இருக்க மாட்டாரு. ஐ டோன்ட் வேஸ்ட் மை டைம், ஐ நீட் டு மூவ் அரவுண்ட். ப்ரோக்ராம் இருந்தா அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டு ப்ரோக்ராம் முடிச்சு வந்து தங்கிட்டு அந்த மாதிரி ப்ரோக்ராம் போயிட்டு அவர் சுழண்டுகிட்டே இருப்பாரு பிரபு. அந்த மாதிரி போற இடமெல்லாம் அவர் அப்படித்தான். தாய்லாந்து ஒரு பெர்மனன்ட் பிளேஸ், ஆனா தாய்லாந்து வந்து பெர்மனன்டா இருக்க மாட்டார். பெங்கோல used to move around. There are various places to preach in Thailand as well. Then Guru Maharaj வந்து அவரோட மெயினான preaching activities வந்து Thailand, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, அப்புறம் sometime இருக்கும்போது மலேசியா வருவார், இப்படியே சிங்கப்பூர். Then used to go to Russia, Middle East. இந்த மாதிரி. ஆனா இந்த 2 வருஷமா மகாராஜ் வந்து கை காலை கட்டின மாதிரி மாயாப்பூர்ல உட்கார்ந்து இருக்காரு, இங்கே மூவ் பண்ண முடியாம.
அதான் ஒரு சின்ன ஷேரிங் மகாராஜ் பத்தி நான் வந்து
சொல்லுங்க பிரபு ப்ளீஸ்.
ஒரு சின்ன ஷேரிங் மகாராஜ் பத்தி
சொல்லுங்க பிரபு.
ஸோ மகாராஜ் வந்து ஒரு 3-4 years பேக் மகாராஜ் வந்து இங்க சின்னாய்க்கு ஒருத்தர் வந்திருந்தாரு, அங்க விசிட்டிங் பண்ணியிருந்தாரு. ஸோ அதுக்கு பிறகு மகாராஜ் வந்து ஸோ எனக்கு வந்து அந்த சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சி மகாராஜை கொண்டு போய் இஸ்கான் சின்னாயில இருந்து கொண்டு போய் இஸ்கான் கிலுவாங்கல கொண்டு வரதுக்கு. ஸோ மகாராஜ்க்கு வந்து நான் என்னோட வண்டியில தான் மகாராஜ் என்னை ஏற்றிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல வந்து மகாராஜ் கூட நம்ம போகும்போது நான் ஆக்சுவலி ஃபேமிலியில் போனேன், மகாராஜ் முன்னுக்கு வந்தது. ஆனா மகாராஜ் போகும்போது ரொம்ப எப்போதுமே வந்து கிருஷ்ணரை பத்தி தான் ரொம்ப குளோரிஃபை பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரு. சேம் டைம் வந்து காலையில போகும்போது மகாராஜ் சொல்வாரு, நீங்க எப்போதும் வந்து டிரைவ் பண்ணிட்டு போகும்போது ஆல்வேஸ் ரிமெம்பரிங் கிருஷ்ணா அண்ட் ஆல்வேஸ் லிசனிங் கிருஷ்ணா சாங். அப்புறம் முடிஞ்சா ட்ரை டு டூ பஜன் பண்ணிட்டே போ, கிருஷ்ணரை வந்து பாடிட்டே போ அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப அட்வைஸ் பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாரு. ஸோ அந்த டைம் வந்து ஒரு எனக்குள்ளே வந்து ஒரு 1 hour பிரபு 1 hour 1.5 hour இருந்துச்சு நான் அவர் கொண்டு விடும் போது. ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல வந்து மகாராஜ் கூட வந்து அந்த எஸ்பிஎல் வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப டச்சிங்கா இருந்துச்சு. எனக்கு ஐ எம் வெரி ஹாப்பி டு மகாராஜ். அந்த ரொம்ப எக்ஸைட்டிங்கா இருந்துச்சு மகாராஜ் கூட அந்த டிராவலிங்ல வந்து நான் மகாராஜ் ஏற்றிட்டு போகும்போது. ஐ எம் வெரி ஹாப்பி ப்ரோ. ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா ப்ரோ. தேங்க்யூ ப்ரோ.
Okay, bro. Thanks for sharing your pastime with Guru Maharaj, Prabhu. Any other concerns, questions, comments?
Thank you. Hare Krishna, devotees. Anybody got any question you want to asking about glorifying Maharaj? So you can ask Prabhu. Prabhu is a senior devotee, so at least he can answer to your questions. Hare Krishna.
Dinesh Prabhu.
Vighna Prabhu, you want to glorify Maharaj?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, I think I will take this opportunity.
Vighna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. I would just speak a pastime about Maharaj, Prabhu. So, actually, recent வந்து ஒரு டிவோட்டிக்கு வந்து நம்ம இஸ்கான் ஸ்கூடாயில இருந்து வந்து மகாராஜ்க்கு என்னது மகாராஜ்ல இனிஷியேஷன் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம ஒரு ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் அனுப்பிட்டு இருந்தோம். ஸோ மகாராஜ்க்கு நான் இமெயில் அனுப்பி மகாராஜ் ரிப்ளை பண்ணாரு. ஸோ அந்த இமெயில் நான் பார்த்துட்டேன். மகாராஜ் வந்து விதின் 3 days ரிப்ளை பண்ணிட்டாரு. அவரே ரிப்ளை பண்ணிட்டு அந்த இமெயில் நான் பார்த்துட்டேன். நான் ரிப்ளை பண்ணல. ஏன்னா before I reply anything, I must discuss with நம்ம டெம்பிள் பிரசிடென்ட் இங்க இருக்காரு, அவரு கிரேஸ் சுனாண்ட கோபால் பிரபு. அவர்கிட்ட ஒரு வார்த்தை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறம் சுபானந்த பிரபு டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டு தான் நார்மலி மகாராஜ்க்கு ரிப்ளை பண்ணேன். So I was a bit busy, studies, I have my studies and all that. I was quite busy, so I didn't reply. Suddenly I received a call from India, +91 something. So I was halfway having my dinner after Gaura Arichi at my house, my room. So I answered like hello, I was halfway having dinner, someone interrupting, hello. So the first thing I heard was Hare Krishna. So I don't know who is it. I think Hare Krishna. Then the next thing what the person said is, this is Bhakti, Vighna, Vinasa, Narasimha speaking from Srila Mayapur. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. I immediately, I was like so shocked, like, phone கீழே போட்டு டேபிள் மேல கையெல்லாம் ஆடுனுச்சு எனக்கு. ஐயோ கிருஷ்ணா, I was like, Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm so sorry, Maharaj. I didn't know it's your holiness. I'm so sorry. Because that's not the way how we should greet a sannyas, and especially an initiating guru and Prabhupada disciple, I was like, hello, I was like so into eating my dinner. So, but Maharaj, is so humble. I should request for I should give him my obeisances, but instead he is giving me his obeisances. So that I can see Maharaj among He's one of the most humblest and tolerant sannyasis ever seen in our movement. So last time வந்து மகாராஜ் நீங்க early daysல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க அவர் பாட்டு தண்டவாட் பண்ணீங்க அவர் திருப்பி தண்டவாட் பண்ணுவார் உங்களுக்கு. ஆமாவா இல்லையா திரிபுவனாத் பிரபு?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Even now he does that.
இப்போ வந்து அவருக்கு கொஞ்சம் வயசு கூடினால நீங்க என்ன பண்ண, நீங்க தண்டவாட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அவர் வந்து as far as he can, அவர் எவ்வளவுக்கு எவ்வளவு குனிய முடியுமோ அவ்வளவு குனிஞ்சு உங்களுக்கு ஹரே கிருஷ்ணன் சொல்லுவாரு. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு ஹம்பிள் பர்சனாலிட்டி தான் நம்ம நரசிம்மா மகாராஜ். சோ அவரை பத்தி வந்து இங்க குளோரிஃபை பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு நினைக்கும் பெருமையா இருக்கு. அவர்கிட்ட நம்ம தீக்ஷா எடுக்கலனாலும் சீக்ஷா எடுத்திருக்கோமே, அப்படி ஒரு எக்ஸால்டட் பர்சனாலிட்டி இருந்து. So that is a very great thing and I'm very happy also. Tomorrow வந்து நம்ம இஸ்கான் ஸ்கூடாயில வந்து இஸ்கான் ஸ்கூடாய் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து அழகா ஒரு வியாச பூஜை ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணிருக்கோம் மகாராஜ்க்கு அங்க. சோ யார் யார் டிவோட்டிஸ் வந்து ஜோஹோல இருக்காங்களோ ப்ளீஸ் ஜாயின் அஸ் இஸ்கான் ஸ்கூடாய் ஈவினிங் ப்ரோக்ராம். மகாராஜ்க்கு ஒரு அழகான வியாச பூஜை அழகா செஞ்சிருவோம். நாளைக்கு நார்த்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா தொடுல நாளைக்கு மார்னிங் திரிபுவனாத் பிரபு வந்து அங்க his team பிரபு and his team will be leading an wonderful Vyasa Puja for Maharaj. So நான் actually இங்க தான் இருப்பேன் நாளைக்கு. So ஹரிபோ Maharaj.
Where you are now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Are you in Penang?
Yes, I'm in Penang, Prabhu.
Okay, please come tomorrow morning.
Okay, definitely. Thank you for the invitation, Prabhu. I'll definitely will come tomorrow for Vyasa Puja, Prabhu. So
one good thing about
you can join with
one good thing about I contacted devotees, Guru Maharaj disciples from Sityavan, as well Ipoh and from typing and all that. Some of them from Sityavan, Ipoh and typing, they're coming over, to join with us.
Haribo Jai.
So that's one of the very happiest moment which I'm really treasure, And one more thing I would like to share,
Yes,
as
Prabhu.
you said just now, Vignesh.
Yes, Prabhu.
Last month suddenly I received a call while I was driving. So Hare Krishna Prabhu. As a normal tone, I got shocked, to hear that voice. It's not ordinary voice, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam, how are you, Guru Maharaj? Then he said, how are you, Prabhu? I didn't keep in touch with you for some time. I said, I'm fine, Guru Maharaj. My words started to tremble, I hear Guru Maharaj voice, my voices started to tremble. Then my eyes started in tears, and such a so loving personality, Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj call means the first thing he asked, how are you? And how is your children's? And that time, my daughter Danya Mitra was sick, was hospitalized. And happened to be, I don't know how Guru Maharaj knows about it. He's not really talking about it. She was hospitalized. But I presume as though Guru Maharaj knows that she's not well. He asking so much about her. How's her health? How's her studies? How she's doing and all that. But he least asks about Dusta Krishna. And I got surprised. Why? How Guru Maharaj, is it Guru Maharaj knows that she's in the hospital? I was thinking that way. And also Guru Maharaj was asking about devotees. He used to mention about some devotees' name, and how's the temple program going on? I never visited Malaysia for a long time, for 2 years. How's the temple programs are going on? How the festivals you all are celebrating? How the devotees are there, And Guru Maharaj was talking almost 1 hour with me, So I feel so merciful and being so compassionate, towards me, that Guru Maharaj can call and speak for a long time, So such a way, Guru Maharaj used to call the disciples, and some of the devotees personally and interact and guide into Krishna consciousness that way. Consider Guru Maharaj very caring, and his nature is very humble, humble and caring, the loving service of Sri Krishna. Anybody got anything to say, Prabhu? Any Matajis got say anything about Guru Maharaj?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think it's a very beautiful pastime, Prabhu, said about Maharaj, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, Tribhunath, Prabhu, for an
Okay,
amazing
Prabhu.
class of glorification. So actually, this class was going on live on YouTube also. There are quite some number of people actually seeing it also, Prabhu. So thank you so much for all the beautiful pastimes about our Maharaj. So let us all tomorrow join Prabhu and celebrate Maharaj's holy Avirbhava Tidi in many, many locations around the world, Prabhu. Hari Bol. Sumbanana Prabhu, ஏதாவது சொல்றீங்களா Prabhu?
That's all, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for ISKCON Skudai, given me opportunity to speak the glories of Srila Gurudev.
Hari Bol.
So I'm really indebted to ISKCON Skudai.
Yes, Prabhu.
And I dandavad to all of you for spending time with me with the glorification of Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So His Holiness Srila Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Narasimha Maharaj 73rd Vyasa Puja Maha Mahotsava ki.
Jai.
Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki. ISKCON
Jai.
Skudai Yatra ki.
Jai.
Premanande.
Hari
Hari,
Hari
Hari.
Bol.
Thank you so much, all devotees. Hari Bol. Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much for listening and hearing and sharing your thoughts with everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Vignesh Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.